알겠습니다. 맛있어. 이건 잘 봐준다, 호박이랑. 맛있다.
우리 산에 갈까? 산에 가자. 산에 가자.
我看一下就在。
봐봐. 끝봐.
Is everything pale and cold? Can't seem to pick up my phone. It's been ringing all day long. Behind these clouds, I know the sun will be, but today's raining, so be patient with me. I'll be right. Somehow I must be somewhere I'm too tired to sleep, too tired to do anything else than doing the heat's like a warm embrace. My bed feels like heaven. I lose track of time and space. Behind these clouds, I know the sun will be, but today's raining, so be patient with me. I'll be right. Somehow I must be somewhere the sky is blue. I'm too tired to sleep, too tired to do anything else than doing nothing. I'm too tired to rest, too tired to blue. Can't do nothing else than doing nothing.
와우, 민감하네. 예쁘다. 와우. Thank you. 잘 먹겠습니다. 맛있다.